The Ford government has announced a massive expansion to alcohol sales in Ontario, and with that giving $225 million to private corporations. The current agreement with the beer store was set to expire in 2025, and the government is giving that $225 million to the beer store in order to have beer and wine sales in corner stores and in grocery stores by September 5th and October 31st. It should also be noted that recently the Ford government has been pushing back against decriminalization in Toronto. They've also been offering sweetheart deals to drunk drivers. So it seems like we're getting a little bit of mixed messaging from the Ford government, especially when he says he has zero tolerance for impaired driving. Meanwhile, his government is allowing for DUI downgrades to minor offenses in order to clear out the courts. Him spending this money to speed up the sale of alcohol in the province seems to be an indicator that he will be calling an early election. As of now, the provincial government is supposed to not call an election until 2026, which is after the federal election. There have been rumors for quite a while now that Doug Ford is worried that if Pierre Poilievre wins the election next year, that people in Ontario will be less likely to vote for a Conservative government in Ontario the following year. And while the LCBO will still be the only ones able to sell high alcohol spirits like gin and whiskey, this is going to have a massive impact on the government's budget. This is because every year the Ontario government brings in billions of dollars from the LCBO in profits. By expanding alcohol sales to thousands of stores across Ontario, this will eat into the government's profits, meaning less money for us in the budget to spend on social services. With 8,500 new locations being expected to have alcohol soon, this would give Ontario the third highest alcohol density out of all of the provinces, with us also being the third jurisdiction in Canada to offer beer in corner stores and the first to sell ready-to-drink cocktails in those locations. It's kind of wild to see how obsessed with alcohol Doug Ford is, considering the fact that he doesn't drink. Also kind of wild to think about the fact that he is focusing so much on this when we really need to be focusing on healthcare and housing affordability. Not saying that governments can't do more than one thing at a time, but it seems like he is moving with more urgency on the alcohol profile than on anything else. Especially when you consider the fact that there are more than 6,000 alcohol attributable deaths in Ontario a year, and the main driver of alcohol-related harm is convenience, with decades of research showing that an increased ease of alcohol access leads to more consumption and in turn more harm. But don't worry, because if you get caught, your charge will be downgraded.